Good morning and welcome to Monday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day and your week off well. Hope you're already off to a good start. We'll give it a minute here until the practical rebels begin to pop in, and we have a wonderful card for today. I think it'll start us off well I think I'm going to do some tapping with this. Good morning, Jonille. Welcome. Glad you are here. Good morning. We'll see who else pops in. We'll do our breathing as usual, but I think some tapping on this one would be a really good choice. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning. Glad you're here. And the questions that are on this card really hopefully will give you as much pause as they gave me, where I'm going, yeah, how am I doing on that? Good morning to whomever else has popped on, but your name isn't rolling. Glad you're here. It's Abigail. Good morning. Welcome. All right, well, let's start with some breaths. Some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I woke up early this morning, like 3 o'clock, and was just breathing and realizing how much I appreciate the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you're here. My number isn't rolling, even though we've added more people. Interesting. Their little ticker isn't keeping up. Good morning, Janine. Welcome. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Gwen. Everybody's starting to get here. So we've got all our practical rebels on board. Let me grab a drink here. Little froggy today. I think it's the humidity. So I think what we will do is read today's card first, and then we'll do some tapping on it, because I like to view tapping as sort of welding in the changes that we want to make and making them more replicable over the coming days. So our card deck is the Allowing Prayers deck, 57 Invitations to Spark a Conversation with Your Soul by Siobhan Nash. And our card today is Allow Self-Worth. Allow self-worth. And how many people these days need a boost with their self-worth? We've gotten so used to defining our value based on what we do, Divine Masculine, instead of who we are, Divine Feminine. So let's give that a little kick in the behind to head it in a healthy direction, all right? So Cindy, if you wouldn't mind putting our questions in the feed, that would be great, in case people want to journal on them afterwards, or think about them, have a conversation with someone about them, forward it to someone else so that they are thinking about these same questions. First question is, in what ways have you forgotten that you matter? In what ways have you forgotten that you matter? And not just that you matter in general, but that you matter as much as everybody else does. Because how many of us, especially as women, and women of a certain age, have been groomed to take care of everybody else and pay short shrift to what we ourselves need? I was thinking about that as I was making the grocery list this morning. Because what am I putting down? All the things my dad likes to eat. What about the stuff I like to eat? We do not like eating the same stuff. Good morning, Mary. Glad you are here. Welcome. So that list needs to contain things that suit me and are good for me and are healthy for me. So list needs augmenting. So that's our first question. In what ways have you forgotten that you matter? Thank you for the coffee. Much appreciated. And our second question is, what can you do to remind yourself that you are worthy of what you want and of living a life you love? Good morning, Holly. Popped in right at the point where I'm asking a question. Let's see what you think of this one. What can you do to remind yourself that you are worthy of what you want and of living a life you love? What comes to mind? Thank you, Cindy. Much appreciated. So, reminding ourselves, and we will do the tapping. Yep. And I'm going to suggest to all of us that there is a link between putting everyone else first and certain illnesses that women tend to be prone to. Some of the cancers, some of the autoimmune stuff. We are setting ourselves up to catch those. Not blame, don't blame, that's not useful. But know that when we don't take care of ourselves, are we not setting ourselves up? On the other hand, if we prioritized ourselves first, good morning, Angie, glad you're here, what would happen? First of all, our needs would be more likely to be met because we're relying on us to meet them. Second of all, it models for others how to take good care of themselves, such that they begin to do more for themselves than maybe they have been. So that also eases our difficulties. Absolutely, we were taught to do that. Absolutely. You know, don't rock the boat, don't make waves, don't speak your truth. Make sure, you know, in my grandmother's era, it was the men got to sit down first and eat, and then kids, and then women. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. You can already see how that's going to, yes, there's the word, selfish. Selfish, as if sitting at the table together, showing up equally is selfish. No, we have the right to this. We are human beings. Again, I go back to Marianne Williamson. You know, who am I to be gorgeous, talented, beautiful, wonderful, all that stuff she says? Who are you not to be? You are a divine child of God, no less than the stars in the trees. You deserve to be here, and you deserve to be at the table, and you deserve to have a voice. Okay? So, we're going to do some tapping on this today. Let's clear out some of that toxic patriarchy stuff and step fully into who we were designed to be, why we were put here in the first place. Okay? So, ready for some tapping. Side of the hand. Even though I don't have good self-worth, I still love and accept myself. Even though I know I have work to do on my self-worth, I love myself anyway. Even though I have a long way to go with regard to truly valuing myself, I am willing to make the journey. Okay, inside corner of the eyebrows. Good self-worth. Outside corner of the eyes. What does that even mean for me? Under the eyes. I choose to value myself. Under the nose. As much or more than others. Under the mouth. I realize this is not selfish. Collarbone. I realize I was handed a bill of goods. Under the arms. That's all toxic patriarchy. Around the crown of the head. I have as much value as others. Inside corner of the eyebrows. I choose to speak my truth. Outside corner of the eyes. I will figure out what I want and need. Under the eyes. I realize I haven't had much opportunity for that. Under the nose. Part of me is angry about that. Under the mouth. Part of me is scared to speak up. Collarbone. What if I rock the boat? Under the arms. Maybe this boat needs to tip over. Around the crown of the head. I choose to prioritize myself. Inside corner of the eyebrows. I choose to value myself with love. Outside corner of the eyes. I choose to value others as well. under the eyes, but I prioritize me. Under the nose. This is not selfish. Under the mouth. This is having self-worth. Collarbone. And I am as worthy as everyone else. Under the arms. I'm willing to begin with baby steps. Around the crown of the head. I remember that I matter. Deep breath in and out. And what do you notice? How do you feel? Does it stir some things in you? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel angry? What do you feel? Let's get some things in the feed and we'll get a bead on where we're at this point. So our questions again were, in what ways have you forgotten that you matter? And what can you do to remind yourself that you are worthy of what you want and of living a life you love? Cindy, you noticed the hurt, feeling hurt. Yep. What else? And one of the things you can do with the hurt, and I've been seeing some of this with regard to the attempted assassination of former President Trump, that it has really stirred people's emotions. The people who are saying, he's created this situation, no wonder this is happening. Others who are saying, this never should happen, ever, to anyone, regardless of how they've behaved, spoken, etc. The view I'm taking of things is, this is yet another instance of tearing the scab off the wound, and it hurts, and we need to take a look at it, and we are taking a look at it, and this discourse that's happening is hugely valuable. Again, many of you know that I value a group called Braver Angels, who sit down across the aisle and do debates with people who are clearly red and people who are clearly blue. And they navigate those difficulties. They create the energy of us instead of them and us. And instantly, almost instantly after this incident occurred, one of the individuals from that group sent a letter speaking to what was happening and merging the divide, working hard to merge the divide, which I thought was a beautiful gesture. We can do this. We can do this. We can navigate the divide between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We can step up out of the second-class citizen and into our power. Job interview today, application, very cool job. Yes, good. And you go into that job interview with, I am here in my worthiness, ready to bring my worth to your company. At 74, finally feeling these feelings, working it through. Yes, it is painful. But rather than trying to avoid the pain, view it as labor. View it as giving birth to something new. How many of us endured labor to create new beings? How many of us have endured the labor of bringing businesses online? How many of us have endured the labor of taking care of elderly parents? We're birthing something. So breathe. There's a reason we learned Lamaze, right? And Carolyn, being 74, you may not have had Lamaze available to you at that point in time when you were birthing. However, we have it now. Let's use those techniques, breathing. So when the pain comes up, when the hurt comes up, when the anger comes up, when the fear comes up, let's breathe right now. And I want you to notice as you breathe. Huff and puff classes. Yes, they were awesome. What do you notice as you're breathing? Just focus on the breathing. Does it not have an impact on the pain, the hurt, the anger, the fear? Keep going. And some of those things about the Huff and Puff Lamaze classes that I thought on the front end were the dumbest things ever. Rolling a tennis ball around my back? Are you kidding me? I'm in the middle of 36 hours of labor. Where's that tennis ball? So, breath, as you're thinking about it, breath may not seem like a big, hairy deal in your process. It is a huge deal in your process. Everything moves on the breath. You can breathe your way to self-worth. You can breathe your way through the hurt, the pain, the fear, the anger. Allow that. Allow that. Breathing is about allowing. And watch how you're breathing. If you're doing this thing, that's you trying to control the breath. Allow. Allow. That's more divine masculine. Divine feminine is and notice if you feel vulnerable when you have your mouth open. Don't be surprised if you do. That's okay. Acknowledge that feeling of vulnerability and breathe anyway. Breathe anyway. Keep it going. Keep it going. So you can use the breath. You can use the tapping. You can use whole brain posture. How many of you remember how to do your whole brain posture? One ankle over the other, arms out in front like a zombie, cross at the wrists, and turn your palms down. You can rest them in your lap, or you can bring them up to your chest. But then breathe. Then breathe. This forces your brain to fire on both sides more fully. Did I say hi to Dawnine? I saw you go past. If I didn't, hi to Dawnine. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And this will begin to settle things. What you're looking for with this is some kind of an internal shift. You might take a deeper breath. You might feel your heart rate slow. You might feel your thoughts begin to settle. Whatever it is, your stomach may unclench. Whatever happens, that's what you're looking for with this. Then you uncross everything and tense your fingers. Just for a bit, just to kind of lock in that change. There are many, many, many tools that we have that can serve us as we're working on creating our self-worth. And we're not really creating it because it's always been there. We were gifted with worth when we came down the chute, okay? But over time, being in patriarchal, unhealthy society, that got buried under. So we're unearthing it. We're earthing it. We're re-earthing it, whatever you want to call it. All of these tools designed to bring forth cleansing tears. Fabulous, fabulous. And that's what tears are for. God gave us tears to cleanse things. And in my family, there was a saying, if you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about, which I thought was a bullshit saying, because if I'm crying, I have something to cry about. There you are. Breathe. Breathe. Allow those cleansing tears. Notice that they move through. They will. They'll come, they'll flow, they'll go. It's all in divine right timing and divine right order. So that is our card for today. Allow self-worth. Let us practice today having good self-worth. Stand up a little straighter, put your shoulders back, bring your head up, and just stand like that. And repeatedly during the day, do this. Why? Because we've all gotten like this. And when your body gets used to something, when you undo it, it feels uncomfortable. We have to practice this for a while before it becomes second nature. So go forth, shine your beautiful, lovely, sparkly, worthful self, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Know that you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.